Lokati here. Today we are going to be talking about my farming strategy for season 3.25. This is like a medium investment farming strategy that focuses around harvest and map drops and a lot of sustain so that you can just continue farming as much as you need to. Now I'm going to do a quick summary of it and then we'll talk a little bit more in detail after we run a map here. Let's see here. Monster attack and cast speed, damage ignites, blah, blah, blah. We're good with that. So we'll go ahead and run this. So we are running 5 scarabs. If you do not have 5 on your map device, buy it. You can buy your 4th slot, you get yourself just by doing the Maven. The 5th slot you get from completing a T17 map. If you have not done a T17 map, you can just go and purchase this on TFT Discord or Global Chat 820. You want to have all the slots here. We're using a Scarab of the Multitude, a Scarab of Escalation, a Scarab of Hordes, a Scarab of Doubling, and a Scarab of Corruption. And then we are running 8 mod maps that have good quant and good pack size that we get passively while we're mapping. So we self-sustain these and then we buy our scarabs here. And so again, our primary farm here is for maps and harvest juice to sell. Now we'll go ahead and activate it so you can kind of see what the drops look like when we're running maps here. On a side note, we are playing Flicker Strike. I have a build up for this, so if you like what you see, you are welcome to check that out and go and get your character set up for Flicker Strike. This is maybe 15 to 20 mil DPS, depending on what's going on. And as you can see, we're already getting 8 mod maps dropped. We got 2, so we're already in sustain. Everything else is profit. Now we are running Searing Exarch as our affix on this map, and as a result of that, we're going to be taking altars that increase quantity and rarity. And so less flasks, we don't care. Go ahead and pick up important loot, move on. Now, as always, whenever you're mapping, there will be a lot of other generic loot that pops up. Pick up the valuable ones. Don't worry about the not valuable ones. Efficiency is just as important as quantity. You'll get several scarabs, and we are blocking some scarabs. There's our harvest node right there that we're going to do after we have gotten all of the altars that we can. Now, I'm mapping on Silo because it's a really nice linear layout that is very straightforward and has relatively good density, relatively good speed, and so I like it a lot. You could do this map on any content that you like, but Silo specifically does drop fortress maps, which sell for a very good price right now at about 90 chaos a piece if you sell them by singles, and then if you sell them in bulk of 10 or more, they always sell for 100 chaos a piece. And so as you can see, we're continuing to get a good amount of maps that drop. That's our another main currency source that we're pulling out of here. We are not getting a whole lot of altars. We would prefer to have more altars. And of course, always do your little settlers of Calgar ore mining, because they do present mobs that have a relatively high drop rate, and so you can get maps off of these guys. And I've gotten a lot of T17 maps off of the ads that spawn out of this orichalcum. And so here we have another one, increased quantity and rarity. We also want to take nodes that say double the chance of maps dropping, or should I say maps are doubled whenever they drop. That's another really good one that we're going to take. And so here we have Eldritch Minion ones we don't really care about. We'll take it just to get the pack size to kill, but that's not a mod that we really care anything about. If you're feeling like you're already overwhelmed, you can just take that last. And then we go in here and we kill the boss. Now Silo does have a relatively annoying boss to kill because she has 2 immune phases, but all of these ads appear to have her drop table from a item standpoint, and so I've gotten a lot of maps that have dropped off of these guys as well. She'll almost always drop a map, usually 2. Once you're done with her, go back, finish up any trials or any altars that you need to finish off. If you missed a domination mine like that, pick it up for the harvest. Right now we're just going back to do the harvest. Now the harvest is where we get a lot of our currency, and this is how we actually do a lot of our sustain here. Always take the harvest nodes that have rare mobs on them, and then prioritize yellow is more valuable than blue, is more valuable than purple. We are running the mod where the harvest node has a 10% chance of not wilting, So sometimes you'll clear one side and then the other side will still be there and available for you to do. And so that's a nice little bonus. But again, we go for the most of the rare mobs here. And usually, I say 50% of the time, you'll have 4 plant groups in here. This time we only had 3. And so that'll be the end of our farm. Now, this one looked like it was a little bit less than what I would normally get from a map. But to put it in perspective, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mod maps. That's about average. I get about 8 mod maps per run on the average. And then we got 400, 300, 600, so about 1,300 harvest juice. I probably actually average about 3,000 harvest juice per run. And so the way this works is you'll farm up all this harvest juice. You'll deposit all this in the bank. You'll want to slot in all your 8 mod maps and build up a stack of 8 mod maps to sell. Throw your bubblegum currency in. And if you've got a T17 map, set it aside in here. Once you have 10 of these saved up, then you can sell them. I just sold my last bulk of 10, so I'm back down to a few of them in here. And then whenever you have enough harvest juice to sell, you'll come over here, or you can do it on the trade website, and you will sell all of your harvest juice. And so you can see we farm up harvest juice very, very rapidly, and it builds up, and these all sell for 1 div for some amount. And so we've got a div here in yellow juice saved up. We've got a div here in crystallized life force juice saved up. And we've got a div here in primal force saved up. Now, in my experience, my harvest juice alone pays for all of my scarabs. Because every time I run out of scarabs, I have enough harvest juice to sell to buy a full new set of scarabs again, and then keep going. And I'll make a little bit of profit off of the harvest juice. I don't know what it is per hour. We're just going to file that under operating costs. Now, you are getting a ridiculous amount of 8 mod maps to sell. We're also running these maps, but we're netting a profit per run of about 7, 8 mod maps per run. So this is how the math works on our average profit in my experience on these maps. You're getting 7, 8 mod maps, which will on average sell for about 15 C a piece. That's 105 chaos. You're getting a T17 map about 1 out of every 2 runs. They are almost always, if you're running silo, they're almost always going to be worth about 100 C a piece. So we'll add in 105 plus 50. And then you're getting a lot of little generic currency in here that is worth some value. We'll just assume that's a net loss or a net 0 or whatever. So off of 8 mod maps and off of T17 maps, we're netting 155 chaos profit per map. That's a div. That's a div a map. I'm slow. I run a map in about 5 minutes. I'm not blasting these. I'm usually talking to people, or making builds on the side, or searching the trade house, or whatever I'm doing. And so I'm slow. 5 minutes a map. There are 12 maps an hour there. That's 12 divs an hour. So you can run these maps comfortably 2 to 3 minutes a piece, maybe faster. That puts you at a solid 24 div an hour in profit. Even if you're running a little bit slower, you can run these at 15 div an hour plus. If you don't have these 5 nodes and you don't want to buy that 5th one, just don't run Influencing Scarab of Hordes. The only reason we are running that is because occasionally we get forced with a Influence Monsters drop Chaos Orbs, or Influence Monsters drop Orbs of Making, things like that. And so that increased pack size has a huge benefit there. The increased pack size also just increases the number of mobs that we have on the map. More pack size, more quantity, more maps. Very simple. The other ones are critical. The Harvest Scarab of Doubling pays for itself tenfold. It's such a good value scarab. Scarab of Corruption is how we are maintaining this map. And then the Scarab of Multitude gives us a ton more maps and a much higher increase getting T17s. And then the Escalation also gives us a ton more maps. Now, for our Atlas tree, we're going to talk about the important things here. We are Harvest. You need Harvest node here, Harvest node here, Harvest node here, Harvest node here. Got to have all of them. Now, we don't need this one point that's right here, because we're blocking enough to guarantee a harvest node on our map, so we don't have to take this one right here. And I am blocking these other extracurricular activities because they are the least valuable scarabs. Again, you're going to get a lot of secondary currency, scarabs being one of them. Now, I've probably got 10 solid hours in this farming strategy right now, and I have only done this farming strategy. We'll look at my scarabs that I've built up. So we have 13 divs worth of scarabs. So you're going to get, on average, maybe 1 to 2 div worth of scarabs every hour that you're doing this. And so that's just nice little extra currency on top of it all. And I've sold a few of the really valuable ones. So make sure that you have Ultimatum open. These scarabs are worth a lot. Make sure that you have Sacred Grove open. This helps you with your sustain a lot. Those are the 2 important ones. Now, as you saw, we are running shrines. So we have Domination Node here, Domination Node here, Domination Node here. And on our map device, we are using Domination in our maps. This increases the number of creatures in the map, which increases the number of chances you have for getting maps to drop. And you just get a ton of power from shrines to help you blast through these faster, easier, more successful. So you do want to make sure that you are taking the dominations. Now, I'm taking this node up here, Conquered Conquerors, because again, we're going after more maps. Conqueror map can convert to a T17 map. So this just increases the chance that the boss is going to drop a T17 map up here. Outside of that, we are taking just a lot of quant nodes here, and then a whole bunch of 2% chance for connected map to drop, 2% chance for connected map to drop, 2% chance for connected map to drop. Pretty straightforward strategy. We are looking for maps, scarabs, we are looking for harvest juice, and we're looking for shrines, altars that give us really good quantity for that harvest juice at the end of it. Now, this Atlas tree, I've only got 115 points in it, so you could have 17 more points to spend. I would say going up here and increasing the pack size on Searing Exarch is a good choice, and then getting this Light of Dawn, which increases the number of altars you're going to get in the map, probably by an average of 1 every 2 maps, since that's just more quant, more pack size, very good quality of life for the strategy. But if you have any questions at all about the strategy, drop by my Twitch channel. Let me know what's going on. You can write a question down in the YouTube comments below. I'll get to it as soon as I can. But a lot of this stuff is much easier to explain and show and fix for players in person live. So I stream 12 hours a day, every day. That is some serious tech support time. Alright, y'all, thanks for watching the video. As always, come by Twitch if you have any questions, or check out this video that YouTube thinks you like, or check out our latest upload over there. Peace.